later, but I wanted to kind of get into like, what is it like working with your husband? Because like I have a business, and like sometimes I'm so busy I ask my wife to do stuff and she's like, "Oh, I don't want," like, what is it like, what is the dynamic like just having started this and just being with Jim and having to do things with him all day every day to get things going? Like, is there sometimes butting heads that goes on with?
That, that's a fabulous question. And I've never been asked that before. And I'm loving that you asked that. So thank
Because
you.
I'm not the media. We talk about
That's a
real
real question.
stuff. Yeah.
And it's like, it's such a fine balance, right?
Yeah.
And I think anyone who works with their spouse, their husband or their wife knows like it is a fine balance because it's like, where does work end and life begin,
Yeah.
right? Like they just kind of overlap all the time. Um, the thing is with politics, especially because politics is so entwined in our everyday lives, and most people don't realize that, but it is like
Yeah.
education, healthcare, like it's there all the time. And I find it really interesting. And he finds it really interesting. And we're able to, because I look at things very differently than Jim does. Jim is very analytical. Like
Yeah.
he's got that law mind, right? He's a lawyer
Yeah.
by trade.
I trade. Yeah.
Um, and so we discuss things differently, and I learn a lot from him, and he learns from me, and it works out well. I'm not saying it's perfect all the time because that would be lying, right? Like that's just
Yeah.
not possible. But we make it work. And I love working with him in this capacity because when you're in the nitty gritty of politics, it's like a whole different world.
Well,
Really, truly.
it's like I never really, when I started because I'm a professional fighter and athlete, so like it was like when I started doing stuff like this, I was like, okay, I just wanted to talk about sports. I never really thought politics would came in, but then COVID hit, and then the whole world changed, and I'm like, okay, this is something that needs to be talked about. Like, it's stressful to me, right? Like, as a regular person, like, I can go a week or two or three, and I just spoke to Maxime not too long ago, and
4 days ago.
Melissa Landsman, and like I'm stressed out after those conversations, right? So like, how do you guys go about that balance, like where you're at home and you're like eating dinner, and then you're like, okay, Jim, shut up about it. Like, let's eat dinner.